Welcome to Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks. I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, and I'm an independent advisor for Creative Memory Scrapbooking, and I'm here to help you make your scrapbooks look fabulous. All right, today is the first Sunday of December, so that means we have a plus sign design sketch today. Now, I have to admit, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so bear with me. Hopefully everything goes well. All right, so I am going to get us down to my workspace and get this show started. All right, so as usual, we are going to be working with the 110 scrapbooking ideas and sketch booklet. And the sketch we will be working on is located on page 105. I actually think this one's pretty simple. What took me a lot of time was the little details like embellishing and all that kind of thing. So I just want you to get a good look at the sketch, okay? There's a lot you can do with this. If you notice, so over here, just try to get acclimated to the camera here. This is like a little border that comes down the left side on the left side page. But over here, we don't have that. So I'm pointing that out because if you wanted to do one of those things where you turn the page to get a different layout, just be wary of that to make it even with this one somehow. And I'll show you in a few minutes when we get into it what I mean. But if you're one who likes to take a layout and turn it because it gives you a different look, or maybe you have horizontal photos, but the layout, you know, is really made for vertical, but all you have to do is turn it. And now you have a layout that's good for horizontal and maybe not vertical. So I'm going to show you all that in a few minutes. So don't worry yet. So let me show you what I did with that sketch. Ta-da! So I went back to Serene waters today. Can't get away from it. I'm a summer warm weather kind of girl, even though I live up in Massachusetts and it's been a little cold and windy up here lately. So do you see what I mean here? We have this border here, but it's not on this side. So I pretty much followed the sketch. I think the only thing, I just put it down here. Hold on a second. The only thing I did a little differently is, so it shows you two borders here, and then the third wide border, right? So I have three borders, but I really wanted my little sea turtles to show up a little better. So I put them on top of the border that I created here. All right. So again, remember with the sketch, you get some versatility. You can do it completely as is, or you can kind of take inspiration from one part of it or another and make your own. All right. It's really a personal preference and there's no right or wrong. So here's our sketch. So I'm going to start with our plus sign. So let me put this to the side for a moment. If you haven't seen me do a plus sign design just yet, well, welcome. They're actually, I kind of came up with this method just to make sketches easier. So I know a lot of people get a little frustrated when they look at a sketch and they think, hey, how come there are no measurements? And it can be frustrating. I was probably one of those people before I decided I need to figure out a way to be able to do these sketches. But because, you know, when I was looking at everything, there were some great ideas, but how do I figure out the measurements? So this is what I do. So I take my zero centering ruler, and since this is a 2-page spread, I'm going to figure out the midway point of the right-hand part page with from a vertical position. And then I'm going to figure out the left-hand page, the halfway center part of the page in a vertical position. And then I'm going to come over here to the side and find the midway point on my side. Now, this does not have to be exact. It's just a little ballpark to get you information. And if you've never worked on a sketch from Creative Memories before, one thing that's important to remember is that the sketches are based on a 12 by 12 page. So right then and there, that gives you a lot of information. Now, I'm not a math person, but you know, a little bit of basic math I can handle. I cannot handle my daughter's calculus. My daughter's a math and music major, and whoo, I could not do it. However, I can do the basic idea. So when I create my plus sign, let me hold this up to the screen so you can get a good shot. If you notice, I do a plus sign on the right page and a plus sign on the left page. Okay. And now I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've broken each page into 6 by 6 inch squares because these are 12 by 12 inch pages. So now I've made a big thing much smaller. One thing I want you to know about this layout is the midpoint is right where these two papers change. See how we have the darker paper and the lighter paper? So automatically I know that this sheet here, this darker color, and this sheet here on the left-hand side as well, it's the same paper, but they just cut it in half. It's a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and they cut it in half at the 6-inch mark. And then they took one 6-inch piece and put it on the right page and one on the left. So that's a big chunk of this layout done. I've told you, this one's easy. All right, so let me put this back over here so you can see what I mean. All right, so this was a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I lined it up on the 6-inch mark, cut it in half, and now here's my big central point, my big focal point for this page, okay? So now it's just a matter of the borders. Now I could have created borders with my border maker system or a standalone border punch, but I chose to use laser cut borders that came with the Serene Waters collection. And I could have done a mix too. I could have created one border and used one of the laser cuts. But where I wasn't feeling too good today, I just figured I'm just going to keep things simple. But no, you can do that. You might have even been able to use a border strip sticker here. That would have been fine as well. Okay. This one I got just a little creative with. So I took my new square punch, which I absolutely love, and I created what looked like on a piece of cardstock. It looked like a ladder, right? And I punched out 6 squares from this one paper from Serene Waters. And well, you know, I'm going to lift this up because I want you to be able to see what I actually did. I'm just going to lift this. Now the squares end up being about 1 3/4 inches, just so you know, on this punch. They're 1 3/4 inches. Now I'm just going to lift one of my squares out so you can see all of these squares I had punched out of this paper, and I put it over here, and it just gives it a really pretty border effect. All right. So the way I created this, because 1 3/4, it's kind of an awkward size, right? So I took my, let me just see, I'm trying to find a piece of cardstock here that I could show you. Let me get a piece from my, this is an older color. I'm not even sure what it is, but so I took this, the cardstock, and I put it just along the bottom here. And every 2 inches, I put a little dot. So I had 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. All right. And then I took my square punch. Oh, no. And before I did that, I took my ruler and I drew a line out. And I made sure I did it long enough so when, and you know what, I'll show you one just so you get the idea. So let me just draw a line here. And the good thing is it's cardstock, so you can just flip it over and use the other side, and you don't have to worry about the pencil marks showing up or having to erase it. But I took this and I put it in the punch, and I just lined up the right edge of this square. I put it right on, and I'm not talking about this side here. I'm talking about the inside silver, the metal where the actual punching happens. I line that up right with the line that I drew, and then I punched. Okay. And so you get something that looks like this. And then I went down and did that for all of these. I didn't line that up very well, but you get the idea. When you punch, you actually should not see this line. So I just didn't go over further enough with my punch. Okay. And then if you notice at the top and the bottom, I did cut off a little bit because it wasn't even, and I like to have it even. So that's a personal preference. I could have left it, but that would have driven me crazy. So I cut it. All right. But that's how I got this little ladder look. And I just think it's fun. Now I could have also have just cut a basic 2-inch strip and then placed my squares in that, without any, cutting of the cardstock other than my strip. And that's something you can definitely do. I don't know. I just chose to do this because I don't know. I wanted to see how it would work. And it was kind of fun. All right. So let me get this going down here. So this was Serene Waters. And now I'm pulling out Sunrays for Days because I haven't used that in a while. So let's get, and I'm using the back side of this cloud and sunshine paper. All right, it's got all the words on it. All righty. And now my big piece here is, as we see, we have that piece to deal with. Now, this is a directional paper. These are flip-flops, right? So I want them to show up exactly the way the sheet is here. So I'm going to put it into the trimmer exactly the way I have it. And I do have to extend the trimmer arm. And I'm just going to line up at the 6-inch mark. And then I'm going to cut. All right. So then I can take my repositionable tape runner. And now I can just line these up on the edge. So I'm going to go flush to the edge of the paper like so. And it's already looking really cute. Now, to save a little time, I went ahead, I decided on this layout. I want to show you something. Oops, I dropped my multi-purpose tool. Let me just pick that up. Okay. I decided on this layout that I was going to do just something a little different. So these are 2 by 12-inch strips. So I'm just going to attach these. So this one is going to go over here, and I'm going to put that also flush to the edge. All right. And then I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. All right. And now I have some cute little borders here. Let me grab these. So with my little, aren't these cute? My little flip-flops. All right. And then I have my little sunshines, and these particular laser cut borders have 2 sides. So I could really go with either side, right? I like that there's just a little spot of blue on this one, because as you all know, I like blue. And I think, I don't know, I think I'm going to leave this side. And so now here are my borders. So let me just get these attached. And just see how quickly this page comes together. And again, if I wanted to, I could definitely use my border maker system, or I could use a standalone border punch and create the borders. So I don't have to use what's in the laser pack, or maybe I'm using a collection that doesn't have laser cut borders. So then I could make some. But the key to this is you have options, and I love options. Just trying to get that straight. Okay, that looks good. All right. So now, if I show you the original layout that I created, so it's a cool layout, and it's really made for horizontal photos. Now, if I turned this layout like so, now you could see that I could do vertical photos, but however, look at this is down here completely unbalanced, and that would drive me absolutely crazy. So knowing what photos you're going to use ahead of time with this layout, I think is really helpful, because then you know if you need to do what I did here. So, okay, I have definitely the ability to use horizontal photos on this, but now I can turn this one, and now I could do vertical photos, and it won't drive me crazy because look, it's balanced. Isn't that great? So it's just something to keep in mind when you're creating this particular layout. And then, you know, we could even turn it like this, and now we get another whole look, right? And then we could turn it like this, and now there's another whole look. So I just wanted to point that out. And then of course we could, oh, well, I think we did that when we turned. So I'm I'm outdoing myself now. Yeah, I'm definitely not in tip-top shape today, so I do apologize. All right. So this is the layout in a nutshell. And then I'm going to go ahead. I can make mats for this and embellish, and I'll just show you what I did here. So the white are my photo placeholders. Okay. So I did take a variety mat from the variety mat pack, but these two here, if you were going to use photos, these would be a good 4x6 photo. The mat itself is 4.5 by 6.5. Okay. And then down here is a 4x4 square mat. So that could hold a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square photo. Over here, I have a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 mat for 3x3 photo. And these two up here, these are 3.5 by 5.5 for a 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 inch photos. So these two here. All right. So remember, the white here are the photos, not the mats. The mats are the aqua. Okay. All right. So it was a quick one today, but I think a pretty one and a versatile one, depending on how you create this side of the page here, you know, and the options to you. I mean, if you know exactly what you're going to do ahead of time, then make it work for what you have and have fun with it. And I do like sometimes having things a little different, but not crazy different, just a little different. I did toy with using the same color sea turtles on each side, but I felt like I needed to bring a little more of this orangey tone over to this side. So that's why I flipped this one over. Instead of doing the blue sea turtles on this side, I did the orangey tone, and I think it really does look pretty. So, all right. So let me go back up to me. Hold on one second. Here I am. Hello. So that is my plus sign design sketch for December. As always, you are welcome to join our Facebook group. It is called FRQ Glitz Girls Scrapbooking Group. We are a free group of scrappers, and we've been having a lot of fun over there because we've been doing an organizational / power layout free class, basically. So we live stream it to our group. It's a series of 3 to 4 classes. We've done our second class. We started back in September, and we have our third class on December 27th. The videos have been recorded and they live on our Facebook page under the featured tab. So if that's something that you have an interest in learning, feel free. And also we have our big winter scrap weekend on Cape Cod. So if you're one of those Massachusetts or New England girls who would love to come see us and hang out with us on the Cape, reach out to me at my email, and that is, I have to look at it today, Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks at gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook Messenger as well. And if you like what I do, please subscribe to my channel. The more people who subscribe, the more my video gets out to more people who may enjoy my ideas, hopefully. All right. So that's all I have for now. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Get your holiday shopping done. I have barely even started mine yet, but I have started decorating. See, I got my little wreath in the background. Yay me. Actually, my husband did that. I can't even take credit. All right. So have a wonderful week, everybody. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.